Hi, it's Janet from the Barn Goddess Chronicles, and I'm here in beautiful, sunny Ocala, Florida at the
Gypsy Gold, yeah.
Gypsy Gold farm. And I'm with Dennis Thompson, who is the man who brought the Gypsy Vanner to the United States.
Yep.
And so, Dennis, tell our audience a little bit about how that all came about.
Well, I'll tell you first, Gypsy Gold, there's a saying, Gypsy Gold is not chink and glitter. It gleams in the sun and neighs in the dark. It's an old saying of the Glad-Owl Gypsies of Galway, Ireland. And gypsies love their horses, and I didn't know anything about gypsies until 1995. My late wife and I were traveling in Europe and noticed a little black and white horse that we hadn't seen before, and inquired about it and learned it belonged to a gypsy, and spent that day in a gypsy camp, and through his invitation became the first Americans to ever attend the oldest gypsy horse fair in the world. And then went on a journey to understand gypsies and their horses that lasted the next 4 years, and uncovered an unknown breed of horse. We traced the original horse's history through 3 countries, and uncovered a vision right after World War II to create the perfect caravan horse, and inspired by 2 stallions called Sunny Maze and the Coal Horse. And we would eventually help name the breed. We established the world's first registry for a selectively bred horse raised by British gypsies, and imported the first 16 to North America. So it was a big endeavor. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we just did a wonderful tour here at the farm. There are tours throughout the week, correct?
Yeah, 4 days a week right now. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 2-hour tours.
And you learn everything about the breed and a lot about the gypsy culture as well. And that's something that we don't really know that much about with the average person in the United States. So it's really interesting to find out like how that culture developed and how it is in different parts of the world, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's a real important education for people to know, because as you said, Dennis, gypsies have gotten a pretty bad rap.
Oh yeah. One of the greatest opportunities with this breed is to allow it to bring recognition to the people who created it, and bring a better understanding of who they are, and they're people, and they've been treated pretty poorly for 1,000 years, and it's time for that to end. So.
And Dennis, another thing I'd like you to tell our audience a little bit about is the future plans to have Gypsy Gold be a nonprofit organization.
I tell people on my tours that, well, of course, I've spent a career in the animal products industry, and I'm responsible for a lot of innovations, and they're all problem-solving innovations. And one of the problems I have right now is I'm getting old, and my late wife and I wrote a mission and goals to achieve 24 years ago, and I probably won't achieve those as profoundly as I want to in my lifetime. So I'm going to turn this farm into a permanent education and cultural center with a lot of unique dimensions under a 501c3 called the Kushtibak Foundation. The word Kushtibak means good luck in the language of gypsies, and it's the name of the horse that started all this. He became GV00001, the first selector bred horse in the world raised by British gypsies ever to be recognized as a breed. So it's, to honor his history-making legacy. Yeah. So we'll have a resource center for children that love animals. We'll have a think tank to cure domestic and wild animal problems. We'll have a special trail here called the Viking Trail. When you walk a Viking trail, you must leave one prejudice behind and take at least one new idea with you. There'll be talking birdhouses giving you ideas, and there'll be wisdom walking donkeys and llamas and gypsy vanner horses teaching children human virtues. So it's a unique task that we've set upon ourselves, and we hope to have it done in 5 years. But I turned to tourism because of the economy about 4 or 5 years ago. Today, we're the #1 thing to do for TripAdvisor in Ocala, number 12 out of 835 things to do in Central Florida, and a top 3 chosen by visitors. Harry Potter's #1. So and that's with no advertising. It's all word of mouth. So there's a real opportunity to create a really special place that brings equity to the breed, teaches people about the breed and the people probably more profoundly, the people who created it. So.
And it's all just these wonderful values, and it's going to be great too, especially for the children.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's going to make a great impression on them.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's terrific. And we will post some information for you on how you can be involved in helping Dennis with this mission.
Yeah.
And just as a note, you all know me. And you know that I have a gypsy banner myself. Actually, my daughter, but I'm now the mom.
Yeah.
But he's the Pirate King, and he is part of the line of the lineage of these horses here that Dennis has raised.
It was fascinating. Janet brought the pedigree to her horse on the tour here, and I looked at it, and three of the best stallions we ever found are in her horse's pedigree. So it was very much part of the initial or the foundation history of this breed. So,
yes, and he's, as you know, you follow Pirate's antics on the Barn Goddess Chronicles, so this was a special treat for me.
That's great.
Dennis, thank you so much for having us.
All right, you bet.
We had a wonderful time.
Thanks for coming.
Okay, thank you.
All right.